Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rocks and Maple Syrup.
First time, man. Excellent.
Didn't think I could do that.
We set the bar high here on Rocks and Maple Syrup, so we can pass safely below it.
That's right, Mark, but today is a very special exception because we have on our show Dr. Brian Cassone from the Department of Biology at Brandon University. And a little later in the show, he's going to tell us about some of the awesome research that he does. But for the time being, we're going to start with a more important Rocks and Maple Syrup beer review.
So what beer is that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Alexander Keith's Red Amber Ale, the pride of Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
What percentage do you guys think this beer is?
4.7.
I'm going with non-alcoholic and $4 a bottle. No, it's not what you asked, but there you go.
5%. Established in 1820. Alexander Keith.
Is he a real person?
Yes. I think. That's a great question.
That's a good name. I like that name, Alexander.
Now, I'd like to show the audience. That is a... What type of animal do you think this is? Oh, we're having biology questions. What is it?
It's definitely Canadian.
A white-tailed deer.
Being that
It's
we're...
a white-tailed deer.
I don't fucking know.
Well, we're east of the mountains.
That's true.
Whitetail.
I don't know the answer, but it could be an elk or a caribou would be my best guess.
So what was your opinion of that first beer?
The beer had tones of molasses. It was very smooth to the touch. Definitely an upgrade from the regular Alexander Keith beer that you would normally purchase at the store.
Wow.
I would rate it 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. We'll see how that progresses through the series of beers.
Why is geology the best science?
That's a question for you, Dr. Cassone.
I will not answer this one. I will say it's already there. It's not new, so it's not really. What I'm trying to say.
One of the many reasons why geology is the best science, and that's
You're in biology. Why?
No,
He is he's kind of a closet geologist.
yeah. I got my degree in geology.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So I know these things. And what I do know is that geology has the most vulgar sounding words out of any other scientist, which
Absolutely.
pretty much makes it the best science.
Yeah. So that brings us to our first bit called Is It Vulgar? So we're going to read you either a word or a term in geology, and you're going to tell us what you think it means. And if you're wrong, we'll tell you the definition. If you're right, we'll cancel our show. Sound fair?
That sounds great.
Let's
Good.
do it. Cleavage.
Cleavage. It's a big set of embryonic cells that are splitting, not dividing. 100% guaranteed. It's a big set of embryonic cells.
Yeah.
And what they do, instead of dividing like a general meiosis cell,
Of course, meiosis. Yeah, I'm with you.
instead of doing that, it just basically splits apart. So it's the same volume. Isn't that unbelievable?
A cleavage in a mineral is when you have a crystal fracture and a plane develops, and that plane develops along some weakness, maybe inherent to its atomic structure, or maybe caused by some deformation.
All right. Next word. Orogeny.
Use that in a sentence. Can somebody use it?
Excellent.
Mark's got you.
I got a sentence right here. When the energy of those bodies collided, it was an all-out orogeny.
That's probably like. That makes more sense now. It's probably like when two asteroids somehow collide in space.
Actually,
And then just destroy. It might be like some other rock, but it's in space.
Not enough to cancel our show, but still good work.
there you go. It's actually a mountain building event.
So our next word is dry hole.
Trial. Oh boy. Could use that in a non-geological definition.
Oh, shucks. It's a dry hole.
Fucking hate when that happens.
What is the origin of the word?
Geology.
Okay. I'm baffled by dry hole. I
Actually-
can't even figure out.
Baffle is a geological term.
Yes, I know what that means.
Do you? What's baffle mean?
I'll say that for the next show.
Okay.
Dry hole.
But I literally have no clue. I don't even know how to even state what a dry hole is. Like it's like a well without water in it. Is it desert related?
It has to do with oil. You drill a well. You hope to find oil.
Oh,
It's
that
dry.
seems so obvious once you say it.
Spreading ridge.
Spreading ridge. Is it like a giant
Different process.
plume of?
Oh,
It has to have something to do with a plume. This is plume related.
good
We
word.
have to cancel our show twice.
Something's happening where a plume is involved. The plume might be
What's coming up? What's coming up?
could
from
be a
the blue?
volcano related. It has to
Oh,
be, where there's some sort of formation of a volcano. I like the head nodding by the audience. So there might be a plume due to the pressure in geological activity that's occurring. I don't know. That's not helping me.
Mark, tell us before he gets it, and we have to cancel our show.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the zone where mantle material comes up, and a good example would be the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, and it forms new
So it's like
oceanic
I
crust.
should have known that.
Yeah, no, of course
Good, good.
you were right there. Yeah,
No,
so,
you're good. Yeah, that's good.
yeah,
Embarrassing.
probably had something to do with cell splitting, right? and so it forms new oceanic crust, and it comes up and then it spreads out.
Spreads outward. So now we get to the bit of the show that everyone's been waiting for, the real science. And so, as we said before, we have Dr. Cassone, or Brian, on the show today from the Department of Biology. And much of his research focuses on the interaction of bugs, both macroscopic and microscopic, with plants. A lot of those plants are crops, as I understand it. And today you're going to tell us about everyone's beloved blood-sucking, what's that word again?
Ectoparasitic.
Ectoparasitic tick.
Yeah. Well done, well done. Why don't I ask you guys questions? How about that? Why don't we do it at Q&A?
Okay.
Okay. How many tick species do you think are in Manitoba that like humans?
Two.
Two that I know of.
There are 6. Okay, but what are the 2 you know?
Dictus, bitus, and hold on, I
Have to
got
use a
another
scientific name.
Wait, the deer tick and then the brown-legged
Wood tick.
tick, right?
one. Deer tick and
Very
wood
good,
tick,
good.
right?
Well, the brown-legged is actually not even. That's you're thinking of black-legged tick, which is really the deer
The
tick.
Lone Star
Oh,
tick.
It's that wood tick, or some people call it the American dog tick.
Lone Star tick.
The Lone Star tick is actually in Manitoba, but it's not established.
I
And
got 3.
apparently, there's been some stuff where people who get bit by the Lone Star tick become allergic to meat.
To you?
You personally?
Not me at all. I also eat meat, even if I'm allergic.
Oh, to
Oh,
me.
meat.
No, meat's that's
Okay.
me.
Apparently in Canada, meat is pronounced me.
Meat, no.
Now you've learned something.
Okay, that's very true. So, what diseases do you think you can get from a tick?
Well, we all know about the Lyme disease.
Lyme disease.
What
yes.
else?
Malaria.
Malaria? No, not at all. But there's something very malaria-like that's in Manitoba.
Schizophrenia.
Yellow fever.
These are all mosquito-related.
I don't know.
And
Mild
not
virus.
yours at all. So, you guys, I wish students would talk like this much here. Okay, so it's actually babesiosis, which is actually a malaria-like
Babyosis.
Babesiosis.
Is it only in
True.
babies?
No, that's the name of it.
A
It's actually mostly
repetition
blood
of
transfusion.
I's and S's.
So there are ticks in Manitoba right now that are infected with this pathogen. It's a back.
And it's like malaria?
Your symptoms are very malaria-like.
How does it work with sickle cells?
Not at all relevant to sickle cell.
Yeah. I thought I was on the right path. with
Good job,
malaria.
good job. I like where you're going with that being
Alright.
wrong. So, what other pathogens do you think are here?
Tick related?
Tick related.
Not a clue. I
don't
gave
know
up
either.
after
So this
yellow
is-
fever.
Is it
So
a
there's
type of rock?
anaplasmosis. We won't go into that. There's one new pathogen, which is very scary here, which you should be aware of. Powassan virus. You guys know what a Powassan virus is? That's probably going to be a worse disease than Lyme disease in the relatively near future.
Oh yeah.
And here's why. If you get Powassan virus, 15 to 30% chance you will die of encephalitis. So it goes in your head, neurological diseases. It's in the same family as West Nile, which everybody knows.
Sorry, if I have a question. So,
Everyone.
if you already have mental issues, do those mental issues battle out each other and the winner progresses on?
Mark's really concerned because he's predisposed to these sorts of conditions. You know.
I think you're screwed either way, Mark.
There you have it.
But
15.
anyway,
You say 15.
here's the exciting thing about this.
Okay.
Not exciting, terrible thing about it. It's Lyme disease. How long do you think a tick has to be on you to contract Lyme disease? And it's the
24 hours.
Same tick that causes Lyme disease causes Powassan.
24 hours.
24 hours?
Yeah.
Exactly. How about Powassan?
Immediately.
We think 15 minutes.
Uh,
We're the thunder of Powassan.
Pretty much immediately.
Yeah. So 15 minutes, you can get Powassan, and you have a very good chance of dying. And what we found in certain places is there's 5% of ticks are infected with this Powassan.
So
Bad news.
5% of ticks with on a state, province level, or in a field, or
See, here's
on
the
what
problem
kind
with Manitoba, poor prairies. There's been very little actual active surveillance that's going on. Okay? So for the stuff that's been going on, it's 5% in certain regions.
Okay.
Okay?
So,
So
everybody should start panicking now. Right now.
And what was it that was not tick related?
Oh, waxworms.
Wax.
Are you guys familiar with a waxworm?
No?
Do you know what a waxworm is? You don't know what a waxworm
Are they
is?
in the fossil
Have you ever
record, Alex?
fished before?
Fish are in the fossil record.
There you go. Devonian. Age of the fish.
It's, okay, that's true. You guys are on target there. Fish are in the fossil record. Do you think fish or mammals are older?
Well, obviously fish are older.
Okay.
I feel like that's an easy question.
And how about fish or insects?
Oh, it's
Fish are definitely
insect. Oh no.
fish are definitely older than insects.
It's the insect versus amphibian debate, which came on land first.
Well,
You'll have to tune into my podcast
there you
to
go.
figure this out.
This isn't a podcast. I love you keep
But
saying that.
here's the thing about a waxworm. A waxworm eats plastic.
Good.
Oh, I
They
heard
turn it
about this.
into antifreeze.
There you go.
And that.
So they're actually producing antifreeze from it. So we don't know if they eat it and they actually gain nutrients in order to grow and thrive. But what we're trying to do is isolate the enzymes either from the waxworm or from the bacteria that they have in their guts, and see if we can synthesize that and basically clone it out. So we have a ton of people working on that right now.
All right, and now we have questions from the fans. Since our last episode, we've gotten at least 4 more.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to see the stats behind that. But, all right, so the fans
They're real.
gave me all of these questions, so I'm going to, and I've never seen them. I'm going to ask the maple syrup people all about these. Will ticks eventually take over the world? That's a great question. Mark, Alex, who would like to go first?
Well, they made it through the end Cretaceous extinction. They made it through all the ice ages. They've got this disease that's going to kill people very quickly.
It's very true, actually.
And so I think in a probability sense, they might have to battle it out with the rats once we're gone, but I
And
think
cockroaches.
and the cockroaches, but ticks have a very good chance of taking over the world.
They're basically our overlords. I think we should probably start worshiping them now, so that in the future, when they do take over everything, they will look upon us favorably.
So what would a world look like that's driven?
Big driven.
Well, you'd have blood farms.
So the pigs would set up blood farms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Of
yeah.
course, if I was a
I
tailor.
mean, clearly they're intelligent enough.
How much cleavage have you looked at in your life? I love this question.
much.
Really, I doubt it, but
So much.
you just haven't been
I
in the field
doubt it.
that much.
Yeah, Mark's been married for a long time.
We're talking about rocks here.
No.
This isn't is it vulgar anymore.
No, no.
I don't want the cleavage to know that I'm looking at it.
I don't think that. I don't think that the bi type.
This is about rocks, man. They're self-conscious.
That's true. So you don't care about the conscientiousness of rocks.
Yeah, I don't think they have all those metaphysical properties, to be honest.
They might have the metamorphic properties.
Okay, so you have a lot more cleavage experience than
Whatever.
It's the hair.
I've seen more spreading ridges.
Oh, this is a great question. I don't know who. So this one, okay. So biology gets a lot of funding because people give a shit about biology. Who pays for geology research?
NSF, NSERC, oil companies, and mineral exploration.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, we'd like to thank Brian for coming out on our show again. We were real honored to have him. And no, there were no bribes accepted for our guest appearance today, except, of course, beer. But that's okay, because we're in Canada. And beer and picks are just as common as rocks and maple syrup. So, to that, we thank our viewers, and science, and rocks, and maple syrup. Cheers.
In that order. Down it.
I just opened a new one. That's incredible. Well done.
Oh, that's a moose.